You're watching a special edition of The Source, a Maranao princess and a peace advocate for many years now. Through her Teach Peace, Build Peace movement, she's been working hard to achieve long-lasting peace in Mindanao. Her mission, to mold young people to become peace builders through education, interfaith, and intercultural activities. Now that the Marawi siege hits close to home, she wants to do more for her fellow Maranaos. Let's go straight to the source of the story. We have Bai Rohaniza, Honey Sumndad-Usman.
Yes.
Honey, good to finally see you in person.
Yeah. A peaceful morning po. And of course, Assalamu alaikum to our Muslim viewers. Ramadan Kareem also to our Muslim brothers and sisters.
Yeah, is that something I can say also?
Yes,
Ramadan,
yes, Ramadan Kareem. Yes.
All right, sa ating mga Muslim brothers and sisters. Honey, kamusta? Siguro, let's just do a little bit of a balikan lang po natin yung siege. Nasaan kayo during the siege of Marawi?
We were in Manila. Our group was still in Manila, but we were about to conduct a peace mission on May 25 po dapat. And then when the siege happened, we had to cancel our peace mission. So what we did was, on the second day of siege, we had a meeting and then we launched We Are One with Marawi campaign to start getting peace gifts for our Maranao brothers and sisters. So at the time, we decided to collect, of course, kung ano yung pinakakailangan po nila. So we started with hygiene kits kasi we discovered that our government had already been providing for food at that time. So sabi naman yung mga hygiene kits. And then as an organization focusing on children, we also collected what we call hope kits for children. So we were able to reach out to 3,600 families and 6,000 children. So our hope kits contain stuffed toys, coloring materials, peace-themed coloring books, because we really wanted them to, even if they experience that kind of situation, we really wanted to inject in them the path of peace, what peace is all about. So when we start 10 days after the siege, that's the time we conducted our peace mission already.
So that's when you actually started, 10 days after the siege?
Yes, 10 days after.
And anong naabutan mo when you actually, nung nakapasok na kayo?
Ayun, we went to some of the evacuation centers. Nung pagdating po namin doon, halos pinipigilan po namin umiyak. We were so overwhelmed. Because they were just sleeping on the floors. I've been in this kind of mission for so many years already, but every time I visit an evacuation center, parang parehas pa rin yung pakiramdam na ganun pa rin yung pakiramdam sa akin.
Hindi ka na mamanhid, no?
Hindi talaga. Lalo na I really love kids. And lalo na maisip mo, like, we had one story, isa sa mga kwento nung volunteers namin, he interviewed this child, and then he said, ang kanyang unan ay sako ng bigas, at ang kanyang blanket ay tarpaulin. So imagine that kind of trauma, that kind of situation that children have to undergo at a very, very young age. And that's why for our group, yung Teach Peace, Build Peace movement, that's why we continue conducting peace education sessions for children.
So what was it like? So nakapasok kayo after 10 days, ang gulo-gulo pa nun. They were probably cramped, surely cramped in evacuation centers. How were the kids like? Papaano yung kanilang pakikitungo sa inyo?
Ayun, at first, of course, when we introduced ourselves, lahat sila parang, assalamu alaikum, ate, kuya, ganyan. And then, at first, they were really quiet. And when we started playing with them, when we started conducting yung Arts for Peace sessions namin, dun na sila po nag-open up. And what really surprised us was when we asked about their hopes and dreams.
What did they say?
Ayun, and between the age bracket of 7 to 12 years old, some of the kids mentioned that they wanted to join a group wherein doing
hindi
violent
magandang
acts.
grupo
Yes.
ang gusto. Bakit ganon, Honey? Bakit ganon ang naging pakiramdam nila?
Yung iba pong kwento, some of them really had, a first-hand experience with them. And during that time, they gave food to them. And then they said, don't worry, kami na magbabayad niyan, ito. So what happened was, if on a child psychology point of view, nagkaroon na po sila ng confusion between what is right and wrong.
And who is good and who is bad.
Who is good and who is bad.
Yeah.
That's why in our peace education sessions, together with Create and Learning Path School, which also has been a very strong advocate of peace education, we did a values clarification. Para just to develop their critical thinking skills. Kung ano ba ang peaceful and not peaceful, ano ba yung good and bad.
Yeah. Okay.
Because in all throughout the years that we have been doing this, that's what we realized. I mean, these kids, even older generations, will always be exposed to negativities all around us. Will always be exposed to conflict, to violence. That's why we have to develop their critical thinking skills for them to decide, wait, mali ito
Ano
dapat ito yung
tama?
tinatahak ko.
Yeah.
Ayun. So we continue nurturing that kind of peacefulness or kind of goodness that we all have. And paano sila magre-respond dun sa form of conflict na ikakaharap po nila.
Grabe din yun, ano? You really need to think about how to address them and how to manage yung pag-iisip nila, which is one way of doing it, as you said, yung critical thinking analysis nila.
Yes,
Kailangan malaman anong tama, anong mali, anong good, anong bad.
Yes.
What's positive, what's negative.
Yes, yes.
At kailan kapag niloloko ka.
Yes, yes.
Parang ganun, ano? So and then months after the war, after the liberation of Marawi, what was it like?
When we went back there, kasi sa nakikita nating situation ngayon, not just in the country but all over the world, there's a need for us to think of strategic ways to secure peace on a stronger and more sustainable foundation. Sobra.
Which is
and
how?
For us, yung tinatawag po nating culture of peace, it should be seen as a core of humanity because of what is happening all over the world. And for us, the best and most sustainable way is peace education. And so ngayon po, kasi when the siege happened, we really had a lot of efforts, and one of which is we really strengthened our I Teach Peace facilitators in the ground. So we created a Lanao Circle, and we have efforts also for Maguindanao. So we created a Maguindanao Circle.
And that's what you call it?
Yeah,
Lanao
circles.
Circle,
Our mga brothers and sisters are circles. Yan. So ngayon po, mag-1 year na, months after po nun, what we did was we expanded our program, which we call Schools and Communities of Peace Heroes Formation Program. So we have this Peace Hero principle na at a very young age, or whoever you are, whatever sector you belong to, pwede ka maging peace hero. So we created that Peace Hero principle. And yung
maganda yun, yeah.
So yung Schools and Communities of Peace Heroes Formation Program po namin, it was designed, it's a holistic approach to peace education. It was designed to cultivate knowledge, skills, attitudes, behavior, and values towards a culture of peace. Na, teaching them about the art of peaceful living, no matter what happens. It's teaching them about building a culture of peace and resiliency. Yun po ang So we expanded. We now have 4 schools in Marawi. So we expanded in Lanao area, Balui and Sagiran, kung saan po yung mga IDP learners po natin. And they're now following their what we call peace education development journey plan.
Ang galing naman. It's so nice to hear this, Honey. And congratulations. And for me, I want to say thank you. This is a fantastic task you have. And it must begin as a child, and it doesn't even end as a teenager or as an adult. Di ba, patuloy yung pagtuturo pa rin sa tao. Kasi we are faced with so many different circumstances. And the core is most important.
Yes, ma'am.
Honey, maraming salamat sa iyo. Thank you.
Po.
Thank you to Bai Rohaniza, Sumndad-Usman. This is The Source on CNN Philippines. Coming up, a soldier's song went viral during the height of the war in Marawi. We get to know the inspiration and story from the man who bravely fought at the front line. Bye.